Oh, I got some juicy news for you. Profit First app version 2.0 is here. With an enhanced user experience and video guidance throughout, you can now be even more confident in your Profit First implementation. Plus, listeners who work with a certified Profit First professional get extra benefits. Check it out now at www.profitfirstapp.com.
Today, right here, right now, this is the moment that you will finally say,
I'm growing my accounting practice, and you're going to discover exactly how right here, right now,
on the Grow My Accounting Practice podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Ron Saharian, co-founder of Profit First Professionals.
And I'm Liz Sporn, a guide here at Profit First Professionals.
And I'm Mike, the author of Profit First and a brand new book called The Money Habit. You're listening to GMAP, Grow My Accounting Practice. This is a show where we teach you step-by-step to do that. So welcome bookkeepers, accountants, and coaches. We have a great guest interview. We also have some insider access that we're going to reveal to you today and a GMAP Now task.
Yeah, guys, don't forget to review and subscribe to Grow My Accounting Practice and make sure you never miss an episode. And thank you to your cyber team who is sponsoring today's show. Chris Burns, full disclosure, he's awesome. He's great. And they take care of our cyber, everything we need for cyber. So if we're using them, I highly recommend you guys give them a look-see as well.
I like the full disclosure. He's awesome. He's great.
Right?
Full disclosure.
Right?
He's
Full
awesome.
disclosure, everybody. He's amazing. Yeah, so is he the reason that we now have that scary warning whenever you
That is terrifying, right?
Oh my God. Every time I'm like, what did I do?
I read the whole thing each time, though. Like, there's that warning notice before you log in. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I keep thinking it means I'm fired every time. I'm like, just fired again?
It does look like that because you got to say, okay.
Like, what are you doing? You've been fired. We told you already.
Well, yeah, there's something going on with you because you've said that like 5 times to me today.
Just
Do you
today.
wanna be
It was
fired?
when I always say, no. I just say it when I clean my office. It feels like I'm ready to go somewhere. It just felt weird.
Well, you should stop carrying a shoebox.
Which is the first time I've cleaned my office, our office. It's the first time. So
I told her I was sick and tired of cleaning it for her. Crumbs all over the place, clothes everywhere. It's like a teenager's room. It's disgusting.
Crumbs, dust. Yeah, Ron used to go into my office and clean it up for me. Like, what are you doing? He's like, I got frustrated.
it's a lot of snacks in there. Sorry.
Today, Ryan McGarghan's joining us, and we're going to talk about perhaps a topic we haven't mentioned before, which is plugging in all the things together: profitability, exit planning, your services, your strategies that you offer your clients, all that stuff in one package. Ryan brings over 25 years of experience in financial analysis, budgeting, forecasting, and long-term planning for small and mid-sized businesses, and has a passion for helping small business owners achieve their goals. After advancing from a staff accountant to CFO, he founded Synergy. He's now also a certified Profit First professional, and now splits his time between New Hampshire and Colombia, enjoying golf, nature, and supporting causes like veterans and cancer research. With no further ado, Ryan, welcome to our show.
Oh,
Thank you. Glad to be here. I'm not sure about the esteemed guest part, but I'm glad to be
Esteemed.
Esteemed.
Highly esteemed guest.
here. Highly esteemed. Yeah.
Hey, why do you think most accounting firms, booking firms, they're not plugging their services together? They seem like all these separate islands they offer, but they don't work cohesively.
I think I don't know. They might not have found their niche. Our niche was to bring everything together as like a family office, where I think some of them just really need to find out what they're really good at. I think some of them lack some self-confidence that, you have some really talented folks out there that really should be, exploring CFO options with their clients, but they pigeonhole themselves that they're going to be a bookkeeper or a controller or tax preparer when they actually can start adding a lot of these services. And I think also that, you don't have to bring it all in-house, but if you had referrals that you could work with that go back and forth, so now you could offer your clients, the business owners, some estate planning or some wealth advisory services that, you can pitch to them, so that now you have more services to offer under one roof, and you become even that more entrusted advisor, right? That they're going to for almost everything.
When you started Synergy, did you start it with that in mind? Did you start with other services besides accounting and bookkeeping as well? Or did you add them incrementally as you grew?
I added them incrementally as I grew. So I first started off doing just tax preparation for friends and family because I hated the IRS, right? So I wanted to learn everything I could. And then I did CFO services, and then I was Profit First professional. And when I started marketing these things separately, I was one of 100 or one of 1,000 or one of 10,000 for CFO services. But when I realized that, I couldn't get really good tax preparation from CPAs because they're grown lazy and greedy kind of thing, right? They're not profit first professionals, not part of our community. And I also, when we're doing these EOS type style meetings, growing the leadership team, I thought, well, I've got a couple services here that we do, a couple services here. And so when I actually bundled them all together, I found out that I was a firm of one. Right. And so
Awesome.
now I can market as a firm of one. Now we just don't do bookkeeping or accounting. You get the whole gamut. Right. And that's where people were, when we talked to them, they're like, I didn't know I needed this all my life. And it's all under one place.
I've had the privilege of watching one of Ryan's enrollment calls he shared with me. First of all, Ryan's is such a good learner, so thoughtful about and deliberate about what you're doing, which is just so refreshing and awesome. So thank you for that. But what I loved about there are a bunch of pieces in there. One of the things that he talked about is we are on the seat. We are in the seats with you. We are on this team with you. Can you talk about the power of that relationship? Like, I'm not just this outsourced person. Like, I am helping and sitting on the board and in the office and at the table with you and your team. Can you talk about what that looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are part of the C-suite. We are part of the leadership team. We are the ones that actually helping direct the decisions being made, because folks are looking for us for answers that, we're the ones that they can tell anything to that they can't even tell their own team, right? Like I'm afraid I'm going to miss payroll. What if I don't get this client in there, right? Like we are their confidants. And what turns out to be is that when we're on the air making the decisions, we're part of that leadership team. We're driving the growth and the planning and the strategy of that company, where these entrepreneurs are great at doers. They have great gut instincts, but they don't have the data behind them. They don't have somebody bouncing ideas off of them or saying, "Hey, that's not really a good idea right now. Why are we chasing that shiny thing?" Right. So when you're in there that deep, that relationship just became that much better, right? And so now they're looking for us for HR solutions or estate planning or whatever it is that we don't even offer that, but we're going to help them find that solution, because that's just another thing that we do. It's kind of like with financial advisors with asset accumulation, right? They want all that stuff together. But when you do that, that's harder to break the relationship. But as we continue to provide those services, we're adding constant value to that. So when we come up and say, "Hey, our pricing has changed to be higher," there's no backing down from that, right? They're like, "Yes, okay, you should have charged me earlier," right? But our relationship is well beyond the monetary. It's far deeper, right? Like it's amazing when you're sitting on that seat and you're looking people in the eyes and they're making the tough decisions with you, and you're playing devil's advocate or you're supporting them. It's a completely different pathway.
How do you maintain excellence throughout? Like, how do you stay top performing in many things as opposed to just being an elite provider of one thing?
So I don't have all the answers, right? So I rely on my team, and we start with core values first. Our
Mm,
team has to share the core values, and our clients share the same core values. And so we found that people who join us, they are continuous learners. We're finding the people that are experts in their field, but we don't want to stop there. We want to be the authorities in our field, right? We want experts coming to us. And so I've been very fortunate that, you find a good person, they find another person, and now they're finding somebody. So we're sharing all the same basket of really good people that continue to want to excel personally, professionally, and in their community, right? And I think that's where
mm.
it starts there.
How do you find businesses like that? I mean, isn't that what everybody wants? A business owner that, is looking for great services, wants to continually learn, takes advice, and is coachable?
We ask our existing clients, who are all of them are our ideal clients. We ask them who else could use our services. They have become raving fans of ours, right? They want to see us succeed as much as we want to see them succeed. It is a two-way street right there, right? So I'm getting calls from all over the place saying, "Hey, so and so recommended me," or an email saying, "I told you about Ryan and his services. You have to call him now. We talked about this, and now it's time." And really making those warm
That's
things.
more than a war. That's a great introduction
Yeah,
if somebody
Right,
does that.
right, and even I can't screw that up, right? So that's
oh, Ryan.
You
I have a
saw my
question.
tape.
Oh, go ahead.
I have a I
I got
love
more
the tape.
too.
You know I love that tape. I have a question about last week we interviewed a guy named Sir Darren Jacklin, and he was talking about how in the next 5 years 100,000 uh law firm accounting firm owners are going to be retiring, right? Or just accountants and bookkeepers and things like that. So exit planning we know is a hot topic. Can you share some of the things, do you help your clients with exit planning, or when you're seeing clients or helping with that, what are some of the biggest, most important pieces to think about with exit planning?
Oh yeah. So anybody we engage with, we begin with the end in mind. We do exit planning, and all that is just long-term succession planning. So we have a goal between 3 and 7 years, depending on the size of the company and how they're doing it. But we want our owners to be investors in their company, so they have the ability to sell at 3 to 5x. That's what we're looking for until you get about $5 million EBITDA, and then you can look for 10. Right. So we're putting in processes in place, systemization, the whole shebang. So when we're talking about them, they're thinking, "You mean I don't have to work 80 hours a week in every week for the rest of my life?" No, absolutely not. Let's start doing this. So this is where the leadership team comes in. Like everything starts with the exit planning, because everything that we do, profit first, cash management, CFO strategy, all that stuff, it all intertwines like a spider web, right? So they love that. And the fact of the matter is that even with these CPA firms and all that stuff, is that 80% of businesses don't sell
Mhm.
across the board, right? Because they're too owner dependent, or they have such a cluster of they don't have a good customer mix, right? Or they don't have processes in place. So we're dealing with that now, where we have a strategic partnership with somebody who's teaching people how to buy businesses right now, who have never bought a business, and they're coming into, and these are the baby boomers, right? Or second generation electricians, and they're coming into a world of hurt, right? Because it's always been done as paper products, all that kind of stuff, old systems. So it's the same thing. Is you got to go in there and systematize it. You have to bring it up to technology, and all that stuff. And that's what people want, is that they want that work-life balance. So when you start looking at the end in mind, you actually know where you're going,
Mm.
right? And now we're just taking steps along the way to get there. And so if it takes 3 to 7 years, it does. But we want to get them to be that 20% that's sellable, but not only sellable, period. We want to be maximized selling them, right? We want them to sell for a pot of gold.
Yeah.
Is the sales cycle different at this level than selling accounting and bookkeeping services, or are they basically the same thing, or what are there uniquenesses in it?
It's easier. It's
Oh,
faster, right? Because we're the complete solution, right? So do you want to have somebody who has exit planning in mind, tax planning? We bring in CMOs, right? We do all this kind of stuff, or would you like to go to a bookkeeper?
Mm.
Which one do you want to do?
all right.
Right?
You gotta drop your voice when you say that too. Or would you like a bookkeeper?
Yeah. Would you like a, oh, I respect, a great bookkeeper is worth
Totally.
their weight in gold. Absolutely. It
Yeah,
all
but the
starts,
client perception is influenced by that positioning.
yeah.
But well, let's talk about the efficiencies, because you talked about that already, systemization. For us as listeners, if we want to put it all together, I assume you have to unify your data in some capacity. It's got to flow through your organization. How do you work on your internal organization's systemization to support an all-in suite?
Yeah, so we do the same thing that we preach to our clients, right? It's all about getting the bottlenecks out of the process, right? We standardize a chart of accounts throughout all our clients that are
Oh,
50
smart.
strong, right? And that way our CFOs are interchangeable. So if somebody wants to go on vacation, we can go back. It's the same thing, right? And we always have two sets of eyes on everybody's company as well, right? There's always two people from Synergy at least that they know, that they love and can trust, right? And so now we're all talking about the same kind of things. Yeah, it's all about developing processes and taking that time to do it, right? So whether it's client onboarding, new employees, hiring somebody else, uh, operations, whatever it is, we attack it right there, and we do the 80-20 rule, right? It's 20% of the stuff that we do for 80% of our results. That's what we start with, right? So now everybody's starting to think about processes. Then not only are we thinking about processes, we're thinking about followed by all, right? Because it's only good as consistency as the next person, right? So we want to be the McDonald's out there, where you get a Big Mac, same thing in Iowa as you do in Toledo, right? So that's the thing that we're looking for. So, and we practice what we preach. Same thing with profit first, Same thing with exit planning. I have an exit plan out here. Like it's the same thing we're doing. We treat this synergy like any other client, and we treat them all the same, regardless of how much they're paying us.
Great.
Ironically, I was just in Toledo last week, so there you go. And the McDonald's is the same, so you're not kidding.
Yeah.
What you said you do CMO services, and to me, there's a disconnect there. It's financial planning, profitability, CFO, and then I hear CMO. Is there a disconnect? Can one of our listeners employ something like that or deploy something like that? When do you go too broad, and when do you start breaking down because it's too far out of scope of being an all-in provider?
So everyone's heard of EOS, where they're really good at the small
EOS.
business operation, right? Well,
Yeah.
we're EOS on steroids, so we call it SOS, right? And we believe that we take the operation side of EOS, but we also include finance and sales and marketing, because sales and marketing is how you grow as well, right?
Yeah.
But what we do allow to happen is that marketing now has a growth budget based upon profit first principles, right? So if it doesn't grow, we don't feed the plant, right? Because when you look at these CMOs, they're like, gimme, 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 gimme. And we're looking, well, KPIs, 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 right? That's what we want. So I think that it fits seamlessly. Now, if they have some marketing people on their dime, excellent. We work with them, but it's also part of that mix. That
Mm,
makes sense, right?
mhm. So when you do profit first work for your clients, are you identifying the profit opportunities for them? And then it sounds like if that's true, you can also perhaps serve most of those profit opportunities.
Yes, absolutely. And actually, when we do a budget, it's based upon profit first principles, right? So if we
Fine.
want to save 20%, your operating budget is now 80%,
Yeah.
right? That's how it works, right? And so what we do as well is when we forecast that is that we make sure that they can see their profit first accounts growing, right? And that's the fruit of the labor right there. So
Mhm.
absolutely. And so we're doing profit first to companies up to $15 million in sales, right?
Wow.
Did you say
We've
50
had
or 15?
15. But
15.
We've had as big as 25.
Oh,
No.
wow. Wow.
Is there
Now,
is there much of a difference, or how are the dynamics in the conversations? Are the conversations basically the same conversations? They're just a lot more money, different, larger bill.
it is. And the big thing too is that, we have to look at the velocity of the cash flow coming in too. So we do a 90-day cash flow forecast as well. So that really helps us stay on par, because but the theory is the same, the principle is the same, is that we're cash flow positive. We're using our customers' money to pay for our vendors and our expenses, right? And that's all we're doing with those meetings, and saying, who are we collecting from? So we really shore up collections processes, right? And make sure that we have really good terms with our vendors. It's the same thing, except you're adding a zero.
I want to bake an answer into my question, so I gotta be careful here. But with profit first, um, and orienting these businesses toward exit planning and also growth, have you found that profit first supports growth, detracts from growth? What's profit first's role in that? And comparatively to people that don't do profit first, from your experience?
Oh, people who don't do profit first are bound to fail, right? I'm
Mic drop.
serious. I mean,
Done.
right. I mean,
Showtime.
yeah, the stuff that we all do, if you do them as a one on, right, profit first, you're gonna be good. If you do CFO services, you're gonna be okay, right? Those kind of things. But when you start combining them, that's when you get that 5x
Mm.
kind of a thing. And profit first is one of those catalysts, so where it's a non-negotiable for us. We start with profit first straight away. We say just $100, $1,000, whatever it is, put it over the profit first. Then we're going to talk about what that is. But for now on, this is
Just
what
open an account, put some money in. But have you noticed in so the resistance I hear is if I do profit first, I want to sell my business or I want to grow, and it's all about the top line numbers.
Restricting.
Have you found that profit first still serves that objective? Can you be profitable and grow is basically the question.
Yeah, so absolutely you can 100%. And what our folks are more concerned about with valuations is recasted EBITDA.
Yeah.
It's the bottom line, right? As long as the top line's growing a little bit, right, or decently, right, but they're really looking about the recasted EBITDA, and that's where profit first shines, because now it's not 80%, it's 20, it's 78% that you can now do it, right, in for operations, right? So absolutely, it is not it is a catalyst for growth.
Yeah, I mean if there's a 2% drop in the EBITDA, that would have an amplitude on valuation, right? I mean, that's
Right.
not a 2% improvement in valuation. That could be a 2 times or something.
Right, or 5 times, right? So
5 times, yeah, it's huge.
pass EBITDA by 2%, that's really 10% more, right?
Right,
I mean,
right.
it
To
could
the
be another
bottom line.
$500,000.
Yeah.
I
Interesting.
want to go
So
back
you're saying
to
profit, you need to be profitable to get a better EBITDA?
You know, you would think, Ron, yeah, I've done the math, and yeah, 4 out of 5 times I get that answer.
4 out of 5 companies. I want to go back to Ron asked earlier, is it harder to sell the way that you're selling? You said it was much easier. One of the things that we run into, especially when new members join us, is they say, nobody wants profit first. So knowing that you are very, you have a very set process, right? It's sort of like, if you join with us, this is what you do. Do you say profit first, or do you just say, this is the synergy way?
Mm.
You found me because people have referred, trust the process, just do what I say. Like, how do you talk about your, non-negotiables?
Sure. So we talk about cash flow management, right? And in providing a healthy cash flow, whether you're growing or whether you can weather the storm, if there's another recession or whatever it is. And then we'll say, okay, and we're gonna look at the velocity of your cash flow. We're gonna do profit first principles. And usually it's like, what is that?
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, well, it's pretty easy. We're gonna pay you first. We're gonna do CapEx. So I do it in their language, right? Or CapEx, right? So we can save for that drill, 30, in 3 months or whatever, or have those conversations where we can buy that fleet of vehicles that you need to upgrade. This is how we're going to do it. Rather, remember the old envelope method, right? Mike, right from your book. It's like, just give it to a way where that stigma is gone. This is how we're actually going to use it, right? And I'll tell them, you're at $3 million annual sales right now. Well, we have companies that are doing at 15, right? And they have $1.5 million saved up for CapEx for next year, right? This is how we're going to do it.
Okay. That's great. I love it. Thank you. I mean, that line of, use their language that matters. I love that.
Hey,
I have
Ryan.
another question.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead.
go. And then we're at time. So you get the last final
Yeah.
question.
Okay, so this is more logistically. So I know that you live in Colombia, yet I know you also travel to be with your clients because you're part of the C-suite. How does that work? Does that do you want to share any travel disaster stories? Because I always love those. So does Ron. He loves travel disaster stories. And then do you does it matter to your clients? Like, how did you do this, and does it matter to your clients?
So I only see a select few of my clients, right? And they've been with me for a while, or they're in my Cadillac plan where they get some FaceTime with Ryan, right? That's kind of it. But what's great is that we have so many good processes. I will say is that I can miss meetings because people are coming in, filling in for me, right? And my clients are always happy to see me, or they're always happy to see my team virtually. So it doesn't matter where I am, but my clients are, they are just as much invested in me as I have in them. So they give me conference rooms, offices. They know that when I'm there, they're going to get a lot more of my time over, eating over their kitchen table and doing those kind of things that are fantastic. But also the team fills in and says, who needs Ryan? Right?
That's not the exact
Who needs that
words.
guy? Who needs that guy?
We got processes. Ryan, man.
Ryan.
Hey, Ryan, you got to split. Before we let you go, where can our listeners learn more about you and your organization?
We are synergysolutions.com is the website. You can find us on social media and coming soon near to you. We're building up our external marketing, but right now our word of mouth and referrals have just gone crazy. So we don't even need that.
Wow. 4 out of
Awesome.
5 people recommend.
Nice job.
4 to 5 dentists recommend it. I'm just kidding.
Recommend.
You might work with dentists. I don't know.
Brian, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank
We'll see you
y'all.
soon, friend.
Appreciate you.
See ya. Thank you.
All right, we got an insider access, a GMAT Now task, and a recap. But first, trip us out with that question you got, Liz.
On that one. Okay. What is your favorite app or favorite apps? Not
Yuka.
appetizers.
Yeah, oh.
You know what?
Yuka.
I don't care. For favorite apps. I don't care. Crab Rangoon. I don't know.
There's a restaurant called BJ, and it's in different places around the world, and they have one of the best antipasta salads I've ever eaten.
Ooh.
But
Yeah,
I
stuffed
also
mushroom-
use Dex.
Stuffed mushroom tops. But
Dex is your
Yuka-
favorite app. Food
Yeah,
and
that's my favorite app to
Dex
eat.
is
But
your
there's an
favorite app.
app. There's an app called Yuka for your phone where you can scan pretty much any UPS code, ironically, for food, and it'll tell you its rating, its health factor, and it's transformed the way I eat and
You
my family.
mentioned that a while ago. I forgot about that
It's
one. So,
unbelievable.
um, what's your favorite food appetizer?
Stuffed mushroom caps when they
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
RT used to have the best, but they've gone downhill.
they were great.
Oh, that
Ron, what's your favorite app on your phone?
Dext. I use Dext the most, formerly Receipt Bank. I'm a nightmare when it comes to receipts, and this has been the best thing ever.
Nice, nice. What about you, Liz?
My favorite app, and I just started using it about a year ago on my phone because I've been playing with it since 2017, is Canva. Canva on my phone makes my humor level go up exponentially. So people will be saying something and I will turn whatever they've said into a wonderful thing that I can text to them because Canva lives on my phone. So I have a graphic design tool on my phone that can do ridiculous things and it makes me laugh so hard.
So you're
That-
you're using a graphic design tool for your friend community.
Yes.
You're a
And then for here, right? Like I use it here all the time for real business things. And
Yeah,
then like
but
I
90%
had,
with friends.
I had a
Mike,
photo
we
shoot
got to
with my
check to
mom.
see if we're funding that.
Yeah.
Liz has a
Fine.
pro account.
That's
Fine.
amazing.
I have multiple accounts. Don't you worry.
That's amazing.
The Liz fun one, but it's the most fun. And then my favorite appetizer, I'm just gonna say fromage. Just cheese.
Fromage.
Cheese.
Just cheese. All right, that's it. Okay, good.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's talk about takeaways. Ron, you're up first, sir.
Yeah, I got a lot of them. One, I love the holistic view. I love that they're part of their C-suite, and Ryan and his firm Synergy, they're driving growth and strategy. I mean, who doesn't want that in their business?
Yeah.
That was nice. Liz?
Similar. I love that he said from the very beginning, we have everything. We are part of their team. We get to we're a safe space for tough conversations, right? So he is a part of giving CEOs who don't have the ability to have their own in-house team, but they're so lonely and they're so stressed out about all of these decisions. So being that safe space, if you will, I think is really great. But also the fact that he only works with people who have the same core values. It's like here, right? Like
Yeah,
no
yeah.
jerks allowed here. And Ryan lives that too. And it's just safe space for his team, safe space for every other client who comes in there too. So I love that.
I think, Liz, I think it was you who asked, how do you work remotely? And he's like, I don't need to work. I mean, that's exactly what an
I
owner
know.
should say. It's exactly what an owner should say. He goes, I have processes. I'm like, there's like this awkward pause. Brilliant. I love that. The second thing was, he goes, be a firm of one. And he said, we do this, this, and this. And he goes, no longer are we one of many. We're the one of one.
Oh,
And that was a really powerful positioning.
baller.
All right, Ron, you got that crazy weapon of yours. Here it comes. It's a lightsaber. They call him Obi-Wan because of his wisdom, his battle fortitude. What do you got first?
Yeah. So when we don't publicize everything that is offered within the community. One of the secret things that we offer is something called deal making with Ron. This is where we will work with a business owner, take them through, hello, all the way to proposal generation, follow us back and forth, and helping them close the deal. Right? Ryan's been through that, a couple other people through that. It's very successful. So you can do the same thing in your business. If you are the owner and you are a good salesperson, or you happen to have a salesperson, have that person role play and teach and participate with just people in general. Your accounting team, your bookkeeping team, your admin team, they're all salespeople when it comes down to it. So anytime you can do some role playing or share the knowledge of one of the better salespeople in your organization and trickle that down, everybody's going to feel more comfortable with it.
Nice. Very nice. I got one more thing for you.
Give it.
It's the GMAP now task. One task to do, you will see results. If you want to expand your offering suite, use a technique called the T3 surveys. T3 surveys are top 3 concerns. Psychological studies show that people won't answer more than 3 questions truthfully before you start just kind of clicking through. Concerns identifies what people need fixed. The T part is the most important. So ask people for their top 3 concerns. The quick short survey and you'll find your top 3 new business opportunities.
Boom. There you go.
Boom.
Good job, Mike. Nice job, Liz and Ryan. Thank you so much. Great job on the interview. And listeners, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode of the Grow My Accounting Practice podcast.
Plus, Liz, where should people be going right now if you're an accountant, bookkeeper, or coach?
Right now, they should be heading to firstprofessionals.com, looking around, reading a couple things, watching the testimonial, and then clicking on the Become a First Professional. What that will do will give you an opportunity to meet Ron, to decide if this could be a fit for you, if you could be the next Ryan McGarghan, and you could blow the ship out of the water and have a great super business that's super profitable, impactful, all that stuff. So
People's favorite app is browsing the website. Their favorite entree is becoming a PFP.
It's going to be amazing. It's amazing. Just
Plus, fromage for everyone. Fromage!
So,
thanks,
so
everybody.
it's the cheese that stinks, not the creatine.
Correct. Cheese, not the
That's
cheese.
true.
Bye.
All right, everybody.